Another episode of Use It or Lose It, and we are at 45 on Eat Street with the main guy, a rugby centurion, a World Cup winner, a Lions annihilator, the Beast, Tendai Mtawarira. Beast, welcome.
No, thank you so much. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to see you again. I can see you. You're definitely not out of shape. If Russie probably, hopefully Russie watches Use It or Lose It, then he'll probably select you and John.
No, thank you for the compliment, JDV. I think I've been trying to maintain my shape, because I don't want to lose my relevance. So it's one of the things I do now, stay in the gym after hours, to make sure that I look like this.
Beastie, and talking retirement, obviously it's something we all have to go through, and then you obviously find a new career. What are you doing post-rugby?
I finished and went straight into the security industry.
Yep.
I was involved at Fidelity Security for many, many years. About 11 years or so, Val Bodman took me under his wing, became my mentor, and I actually learned about the industry, whilst I was playing, and I actually, thought that this would be a great business, opportunity for me. Yeah. So now that I retired, I'm running a subsidiary of Fidelity, a company called Umlindi Security. We offer all the services that Fidelity offers, and my mandate is to be the CEO and grow this business. So to all the viewers, if you need any security, I'm your guy.
I'm your guy. I thought when you said security, I thought you meant the security of the left shoulder in the scrum. That's not what you were referring to, right?
No,
it's much more than that.
It's much more than that.
You must be one of the few CEOs who still do photo shoots. I'm sure you do. I saw you on a photo shoot the other day, didn't I?
He's actually, he's trimmed down, he's got the whole look going.
Can I
just put it out there?
The trendiest guest we've ever had.
Yes.
Jeez, would you say that?
Yeah.
I thought, a few weeks ago you had Kitsy on the show.
Yeah.
I thought he looked good as well.
Well, all things considered, he did.
Yeah.
I mean, trendy,
good.
definitely not.
But
Beastie,
it is great seeing you, and obviously we had this beautiful restaurant, 45 on Eat, right?
Yeah, 45 on Eat Street.
In Belito. So it will be a little bit noisy at times, but they've been fantastic. So if you're ever in the area, come visit the place. They've got fantastic sushi, great food. You might just spot Tendai Mtawarira here. He doesn't eat a lot, but whenever he eats something, he comes here as well. Beastie, I think just to ease into this one, maybe we should start with some quick fire questions for Beast.
So Beastie, quick fire questions, eh? So just quick answers if we can.
Okay.
It's a prop. Can't be quick.
I know. I'll go straight into it though. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Multi-studs or 8 studs?
8 studs.
Sure?
Definitely.
You hesitated a bit. Here's a
How
big
about
one.
when a flanker?
Yeah.
How about when a flanker scrums with multi-studs behind you?
Yep, that's a no-no. That's like you do that, you're committing
You're
suicide.
good enough. I did that for a living. Action movies or love stories?
Action movies.
Love.
Weights or cardio?
Weights.
Every day.
Every day.
All day.
Barry White or The Weeknd?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I love them both, but Barry White.
Barry White.
Because the deep voice.
Yes.
Yeah, the deep voice.
Loose forward or prop?
Prop. Definitely.
Started as a loose forward, though.
Yeah, but props are better.
This one is, I think, the toughest one. Sharks or Stormers?
That's an easy one.
Come on.
So kind.
Sharks.
Oh,
You
sure.
know I'm a Sharks
And then
man.
last one. Beauty or the Beast?
Beauty.
Beastie, you touched on it a little bit there with just your journey to South Africa, your journey to becoming a cult hero, really, in not only South African rugby but globally. When people chant your name when you touch the ball and when you make those big hits, etc. Talk us a little bit. Well, actually, I'm gonna show you. So we've got this segment in the show called the Fan Favorites.
Okay.
It's brought to you by Vodacom. We want to get the fans the opportunity to ask a question to their heroes. So we'll start with this one. If you just have a look there, and then maybe just
Okay.
press play there at the top.
How's it, Beast? I'm Dirkie from Cape Town. I've always been a massive fan of yours. Thank you for all those scrum penalties coming through the front row there. I've always wondered how it was for you to make the move from Zimbabwe to here, and when did you really feel at home here? Because sheesh, man, you're like a national treasure to us. Thank you very much for all the years of all that lekker scrumming and all of the fan gees you brought to us. Cheers, man. Thanks.
No.
So
Thank you.
us a bit
Thank you
through
so
that
much.
journey, because I mean, it couldn't have been easy, you know, leaving your country, coming to a different country, and when you get like, you know, people like this saying how they feel about you, it must make you feel quite special.
Yeah, no, it's very humbling indeed, John. I think, you know, yeah, for me it was humble beginnings, you know. I was born and raised in Harare, Zimbabwe, you know, whilst I was growing up, you know, I discovered rugby, and discovered that I had a talent in the game, and my dream was to, you know, play for a pro team, and you know, back in Zimbabwe there was no professional league. So, you know, the closest place to Zim was South Africa, and that's where I dreamt of going, you know. I always used to watch a lot of South African rugby, you know, the Springboks, Super Rugby. So I had a lot of, you know, guys that I looked up to, Barry Tashman, Bobby Skinstad, because I was still a loose forward at the time, so, you know.
You see the story coming through there? How do you treat yourself?
So, yeah, so, John, so that was, you know, me kind of dreaming of, you know, realizing this, you know, rugby dream. But, you know, my circumstances were quite tough. You know, my parents did their best to, you know, give me a good start in life. You know, they sent me to school and, you know, provided for me and my siblings. But life was really, really tough, you know. So I wanted to, you know, chase success. I wanted to change my life, provide for my family, you know. So I embarked on this journey.
And get an opportunity, I suppose, as well, like, to do that. You know?
Exactly, get an opportunity. That's what probably the biggest thing, you know, just getting a chance. And at the age of 18, I made the, you know, the long trip across the border from Harare to Durban, and it was a long one on a bus. And but I promise you, for me, the whole way to Durban, you know, my heart was racing, because this was like my dream, you know, to go and you know, play at the Sharks. And yeah, through my perseverance, my determination, and I was able to defy the odds, you know, and make it into the Sharks team. And I think, you know, the question that the fan asked now, but when did I feel comfortable? You know, I think for me, I felt comfortable from that very first time when I set foot in Durban, because, you know, Durban, the people were so warm, welcoming. So for me, it felt like home, you know. And then all I just did was trying to, you know, get into my fans' hearts, and display what the Beast is all about on the field.
I don't think there's any doubting that, you know, you got into the fans' hearts. I mean, all of us, whenever you did anything, there was a beast, a loud beast, you know. You come here as a youngster, as you mentioned, from Harare. You get in here, you've got a young Bismarck du Plessis who's with you, but then you've got an older John Smith. What Sharks players sort of mentored you, took you under your wing? Because you've got to attach yourself to someone, right? Because you come here by yourself, you've got to make friends, but you also got to have the guy you look up to, and then you've got to have your peer that you go with and say, listen, okay, we're playing under 19s, under 20s
takes you under the wing, and
where are we going, and what dream are we chasing?
Yeah, I think at the time, the guy I really looked up to a lot was BJ Botha. You know, I think he took me under his wing as a senior player, and taught me a lot about scrummaging, because, you know, I made the conversion so late in my career.
And you guys would have been scrumming against each other.
Exactly. Yeah. I remember him, you know, he was a senior oak, you know, that was accomplished in his position, but he used to come out, you know, for extra sessions with me, you know, on Sundays, on Mondays, on his day off, just to come and help me, you know, get better. So I remember he added a lot of value. And then a guy that was my peer, there was somebody that pushed me, you know, that I could relate with, was Bismarck, you know, in a big way. And I think a lot of credit, you know, I've given to him over the course of my career, because I really believe that without him, you know, calling me out, you know, when I wasn't bringing in my best, you know, that actually pushed me to breaking so many barriers and achieving so much. So I think I'm indebted to Bismarck, yeah.
Yeah, and kind of that accountability, eh?
Yeah.
Just someone that you're accountable to. When you're doing well, he says, well done. But if you're not, he's willing to tell you that you're not doing your part.
And it's also that thing that, you know, you mates, but the one guy achieves something, so he gets his first Curry Cup or Vodacom Cup start, and you're lagging behind him, and you're chasing him.
You want to get there as well.
I remember watching John's first test match. It didn't last very long. It was 6 minutes, I think it was.
7.
Sorry, 7. Yeah, I sold you short there. But John played his first test match in 2002, and then I was obviously playing S21s with him at the time, or before that, and I was going like, well, I need to get there now. You've got to chase it, and that, you know, that drive sort of fuels you to catch up to your mate.
But Beastie, we'll get into we'll get into the detail of your career and kind of all the highs that you achieved. But I want to go back to that kind of thing where you said you left Zimbabwe, you know, to find opportunities, because, you know, in the world and not to get too deep into that, but in the kind of world we live in today, and especially in South Africa as well, you know, you so many times you have those kids growing up wanting to achieve something and wanting to be something, but never getting the opportunity to do it. And it's almost that, you know, if the opportunity comes your way, you know, you need to take it with both hands. Unfortunately, from your point of view, it was in South Africa, and I'm sure that if you had the opportunity in Zim, it would have been there. But you know, it kind of brought you to South Africa and to our, you know, to our benefit. But it's getting that opportunity, you know, realizing that it's there and then making the most of it, right?
No, I agree with that, John, 110%. I think, you know, I truly believe that there's a lot of, you know, talented young people on the African continent, and what's lacking is opportunity, you know, and I was very fortunate to get that opportunity. And probably one of the more exciting things that I've started now, one of my exciting projects is my foundation, you know, because I believe that, you know, I need to, since I made it, I need to be, you know, one of the people to create those opportunities for young people. So I started this foundation to help empower the youth, you know, through sport and education. And, you know, my vision is big, and I want to touch all corners of the continent and reach out to young people that just doesn't have to be just rugby, you know, it could be anything else, you know, but just really opening up doors for those young people to reach for the stars, you know. So what you say there is profound. Opportunity is everything, and when you get that opportunity, then you got a chance, you know.
And again, like I said, I mean, we don't want to harp on it for too long now, but you know what the three of us can vouch for is that sport provides that opportunity, and what sport gave us, you know, through sport we were able to do what we did and to get a life and build a life from that. And a lot of the time it's not just being the next Beast or Schalk Burger, but it's just using sport as a tool to get out of your current circumstances. And I'm assuming that through your foundation you'll be doing and a lot of that and providing those opportunities as well. So yeah, well done for that.
No, thanks, John. Thanks, man. Thanks.
But let's get into the career of, when did you become the Beast?
You know,
did you arrive as the Beast?
I arrived.
You arrived in South Africa, you're like, hey, who are you? You know, I'm the Beast.
I'm 18 years old and I'm the Beast.
No, you know, it's actually quite a funny. No, it was actually quite a funny thing, because, you know, that nickname, I think I've told the story quite a lot of times. That nickname Beast was given to me when I was 9 years old. And because I was, you know, I was big, I was a man child, and I was aggressive. And my best friend gave me that nickname, and it stuck for so long. So when I arrived at the Sharks Academy, my first day, Hans Skriber was the academy principal, and then he asked, okay, what do you want us to call you? And I said Beast. Then he put it on the register, and all the boys in the academy, you know, called me Beast, and then that's how, you know, my name just stuck.
So you Beasts by the academy kids, and then obviously to the whole Sharks environment. You introduce yourself as Beast. When's the first time where you were playing a game and you can hear the crowd going, Beast?
So yeah, so on my debut for the Sharks in 2007, that's when this whole chanting of Beast started, and it started with the academy boys. So at the stadium at Kings Park, there's the dugout, you know, where all the kids play, and right in front was the academy kind of section. So all the boys used to sit there. So you know, they were so excited that I'm making my debut, and then they just started screaming Beast, you know, when I got onto the field. And before I knew it, it spread like wildfire across the whole stadium. And then the next game, it was there, and then it became a thing. You know, every time when I carried the ball or did something on the field, then the crowd would chant Beast. And then, yeah, it just became like a thing, you know, it rubbed off onto other stadiums as well.
I actually had, and you guys wouldn't even have noticed it, but I had a very similar thing when I started playing as well. The Stormers and the Bar, but then they went like boo.
So that's every time you try to kick. Every time you try to kick, they would.
It didn't make me feel so good.
No.
Beastie, we're gonna move. So you are the Beast, but for fan favorite number 2, have a look at that one.
Hi Beast, Andries here from the beautiful Paul. Just a question from my side to you. Which player you played against was the strongest you've ever played against in the front row?
Okay, Andries, that's
who's the Beast? Who's the Beast that the Beast played against?
Ooh, okay, that's yeah.
Can you single out one?
You know, it's actually quite hard because I think I smashed everybody I played against. Jokes. Joke.
You haven't, and that is it.
No, I'm joking. Okay, no. Okay, if I had to pinpoint out one guy that gave me a tough time every time when I scrummed against him, Owen Franks, no doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, he was probably the most consistent scrummager, you know, of my time. Hell of a tough oak, you know. I think I went up against him, if I had to count, probably 30 times, you know, when he played for the Crusaders and the All Blacks. So, yeah, man, he was a tough guy. Yeah.
You spoke about when you made your Sharks debut and they started calling you the Beast from day one. But you really, 2008, you made your Springbok debut. But I think the day everybody knew that
Realized the Beast
arrived. Main guy's here. Was in 2009. That first test match
against the Lions, full victory.
Talk us through that. We've got. Let's go to it. There's, I mean, as you can imagine, fan favorite 3, and there's actually 3 videos on it. So, click the one in the middle there, top middle.
Top middle, okay.
And just check if the sound's on.
Hi Beast, this is Tianis from Gauteng. We all remember your game against the Lions where you folded full victory in half. What other game would you rate as your best and most memorable performance, and against which team and which player was that? Thanks.
But go before you answer, because all 3 is kind of on the same chain. So go to the next video, Beastie.
Okay.
Hi there, Beast and John. My name is Reis Krieger from Summers West, and I'd like to thank you guys for what you've done for South African rugby, first of all, and then my question is for Beast. It regards the British and Irish Lions test against the Springboks in 2009, first test at Kings Park, and in that match, Beast, you absolutely demolished full victory in the scrum time. And my question is just, did you have a specific tactic going into that match against full? And my second part of the question is, was there any banter between the 2 of you at the scrum, at the goal face? Anything said there that you can recall? Any of that front row banter between the 2 of you? Thank you.
I don't think there's ever banter in the front row, is there? Play that.
Oh, the next one.
Hello, Beast. I'm Warwick. Thank you for your amazing commitment to the Springboks over the years. You've been a great ambassador for our country as well as the game of rugby. You're instrumental in the Lions series in 2009 and again in the World Cup final in 2019, demolishing the opposition from the start of the game. In your mind, what impact does that very first scrum have on the rest of the game when you can dominate the pack like that from the start? Thank you.
Wow. Great question.
Some nice questions, eh? But I mean, you know, if you go from the first one even, is there like a tactic? Do you go into the game knowing that the opposition tighthead is scrumming in a certain way and you need to...
I think...
Because, I mean, as far as I know, I mean, you just push.
No, John, there's a lot of technique and...
And then we score the job.
I was behind them. I didn't know what's happening. But like, BC, like, let's get into a bit of detail. How do you, because every South African sides especially, every week you target the scrum, right? It's a big thing, especially the box.
Yeah.
It's our thing. And we try our best to put the opposition under pressure.
Yeah.
When do those games come across? It was 09, you smashed Vickery, and is it a thing like the way he scrums against you? So all Schalk's front row, with people forget that John Smith played tighthead and Bismarck played hooker. And then 19, we see the same thing happening again where the box scrum demolishes English scrum. What is it? What's those weeks? Is it just...
Geez, I think, everything is a lot about the preparation. I think before that game, I think what I remember about the 2009 British-Irish Lions first game was that we worked so hard before that game. And I think there was a lot of talk about how much we were not good enough to be, to face the Lions, that front row. And I think I just made my debut. I was still inexperienced in some way. And Bismarck was young and John was playing out of position. So, there was a whole lot of talk about, the Lions are targeting, the Springboks up front and they're going to take us out. So that gave us a lot of, fuel. It gave us a lot of, energy because we wanted to prove ourselves. So, yeah, I think we worked hard in silence. And then when we went onto the field, the Lions were so confident that, obviously they would dominate us and they got smacked in the face. So I think the techniques around that, yes, it did help that me and Bismarck scrum together for so long. Yeah. And I think Phil Vickery, his scrummaging style, he was quite a dominant guy when he's on the front foot, but we put him under pressure from the, get-go. So you couldn't get into a comfortable position. And then Bismarck just helped me, and his work there actually resulted in me dominating him. A lot of people wouldn't be able to tell that. But Bismarck's work there was incredible. So that,
nothing to do with the flank.
Okay. But can I tell you what? If there is a bad scrum, it's all the flank. Yeah.
Exactly. We don't give you too much credit. No, but I must say the guys from the back, Scala, Pierre, they were all pushing with everything and gave us a lot of, it gave us a lot of confidence to go forward. So
and kind of it just seems as if you just grow from there, right?
Yeah.
You have that dominance in that first scrum, then the second, and then it's like every single time you see a knock on from the centers. Yeah. You actually have it.
Yeah, every time when you drop the ball,
you actually have it, right?
No, because I think at one stage it felt like maybe you were dropping the ball intentionally. Yeah, so just back down.
Every time I did do it intentionally.
Man.
But that was kind of that was like, I'm here. I'm world stage. I'm the beast. I'm here, to be part of this party. And do you feel that it's kind of your career just took off from there? Because it was certainly a massive kind of the intent shown in that game, just put you on a different level.
Yeah, no, I think that game did a lot for my career. I think I was still trying to find myself in the big international stage, so it gave me a lot of confidence. And I think I went into that game knowing that I want to show my worth. I want the rugby world to know my name. I think you could see it in my eyes. I had crazy eyes. Yeah. So I was quite pumped up,
I loved it when the Beast got the crazy eyes. It was one of the best things.
Yeah. And I remember Busy and Yanni and them, they always spoke about the shake.
Oh yes, the shake.
The shake. Was that when we were singing the national anthem, or when did the shake occur?
So the shake occurred.
Because I always saw the most shakes.
So yeah, especially Yanni loved it. Because it happened during the national anthem, and then as well when we, when we bound together before the crouch, sometimes I'll be so much in the zone, like I'll be like, and then I'll be like shimmering.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm shimmering a little bit and let's go. You know, like I want to get loose kind of thing. So Yanni used to love that every time when I bound, you could feel my
a little shimmer.
a little shimmy. You know something is about to happen.
Now, Beastie, you start out a career and you've got certain goals, and then the career carries on, and then you finish a career and you end up playing 100 and nearly 60 odd games for the Sharks, which is a record, South African Super Rugby record. You play 117 test matches. You know, it's the third most test matches in South Africa. You know, ridiculous record. Do you sometimes look back and think, that was amazing?
Is this real?
Is this real? Did that happen? Because none of us started our careers out thinking we're going to be that successful.
Well, put it this way: when you did that trip from Harare to Durban the first time, that long trip, did you ever imagine it'll turn out the way it did?
Nah, I won't lie to you. I never imagined that it would turn out the way it did. You know, I promise you, it's like sometimes I have to pinch myself. You know, because you know I meet the sick and old person on the street, and they always say, "Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you did." You know, and then you know all these accolades that I achieved. I promise it's surreal. You know, it's just it's amazing. You know, that I achieved so many things, and I'm grateful. So yeah, man, it's 117 test matches. I could have never imagined that. Yeah.
Not all of us get to play our last test match
in a World Cup final.
In a World Cup final.
And win it. Yeah.
And then the only thing we can talk about is the scrum.
Yeah. Well, there's two people, Austin Rand and Beast.
Yeah. It's a lucid thing, obviously.
Yeah. No, because when you played your first test match, was it against Wales?
Yeah, it was against Wales. Yeah.
In 2008. You finished up with 117, right? Yeah. I don't think you would get to number 2.
Oh, thanks, John. Thanks. I thought you had faith in me. I thought you believed in me.
Obviously, when you're in the backs, they don't really care who's up front.
But let's now fast forward a couple of years. You've established yourself in that 09 year was an amazing year for all of us. You established yourself in the Springbok setup. You know, initially you were a relatively quiet guy in that environment, and you know, kind of like all of us, I suppose. When you start off, you're trying to find your feet and whatever. And then, almost after 2015, you know, a lot of the senior guys left, and you moved into a very critical role in the box and a very much a senior player. Do you feel you just naturally evolved into it, or did you just realize that, you know, it's your time to stand up and be a leader within that environment now?
I think it was a bit of both. You know, I think obviously the natural progression of being in the team setup for so many years, kind of, you know, it kind of dawned on me that I'm now, you know, the guy to show the youngsters. Yeah, and then part of that was also like, hey, you got to catch a wake up here and really start putting your hand up and not being the quiet guy and being the silent guy in the room always. So, you know, I guess, it was a huge honor, you know, to be in that position. And then you remember 2016 and 2017.
So hard.
It was hard. It was hard. You guys left. You just left us hanging, and me and Brian were left in there.
I didn't leave. I was broken.
No, John.
Yeah, you get to a stage where you've got no hair on your head left, and you think, I can't play for the Boks anymore. Yeah. I've got to try and play somewhere else.
You said how difficult it was, 16, 17, and it was a transitional period for Springbok rugby. But you know, the easy decision in my head would probably have been to go overseas. You know, kind of chase the money in a way. You know, get away from all the pressure, the critics, everything in South Africa.
Because the Boks are the best place in the world to play when you're playing well, but it's the absolute worst place to be exposed to when it's not going well, like those 2 years.
No, it's very true. Right? I think. Yeah, and I think, you know, it was really hard. You know, I contemplated retiring. You know, I contemplated moving overseas. And, you know, it was a really, really hard time. I had to do a lot of soul searching. And I think probably the biggest thing I probably realized out of everything that was going on was that, you know, I still hadn't achieved a World Cup. I hadn't achieved what I wanted. You know, I still wanted to play 100 test matches. I had all these goals that I had written down. And I think my wife was the biggest influencer. You know, I sat down with her and we discussed with Koo, you know, and she was like, hey, the fact of the matter is that you still got all these goals, and I think, you know, you must stay, you know, because you're gonna regret it one day when you're retired that, you know, I could have stayed and actually followed through and done all those great things. So I think that just kind of, affected my decision, and I made that decision solely to stay. And then Rassie came into the picture, and I bought into his plan. So I think everything just kind of worked out at the right time. Yeah, it worked out at the right time, you know.
And was Koo the main driver, or your main kind of advisor, for lack of a better word?
Soundboard.
And soundboard for that, or did you have someone else also that kind of helped you with the decision making, or was it more just internally, family wise?
No, it was mainly internal. Internal, especially with all those big decisions.
Yeah.
And I would always, consult my wife, but I also had mentors.
No, you don't consult your wife; she tells you.
I was listening.
So I just listen and say, hey, okay, baby, we'll stay. So I think, over and above that, I think I had some really great mentors. I mentioned Val Bodman. Val, I promise, he's probably one of my greatest friends. And I think when I had to make really, difficult decisions, I always, try to ask him for his advice, and he always gave me good advice. I think he never played overseas when he played rugby, so he enjoyed his rugby locally, and he told me that, rather stay, you ride this thing through. And I think at the time I was actually playing really well, despite the team losing. That's probably one of the reasons why there was no big target on my back from the media or anyone else, because I was actually putting on decent performances, but the team was just not playing well.
Yeah.
So, I was in good nick, good shape, no injuries. So he just told me, ride this wave, and I did.
Get through it,
Get through it.
And then obviously we can look back now and say it was 100% the correct decision.
Yeah.
Because 2019 happened, and I mean, what an amazing
what a
experience.
Fairy tale.
Yeah, no, it's incredible experience. I think I get goosebumps just thinking about it. I think, the way we turned it around, and probably a lot of people, if not the whole world, didn't believe in us that we could actually win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Did you believe in us, John?
Of course I did.
We were
never doubted you for 1 second, ever.
We were in studio sitting before that final. I was backing the Boks, but I was like, I hope the Boks win, because I can't tell the rest of South Africa that we just lost the final against England. So I was backing the Boks, but
I know
we didn't expect that performance.
No, it was
None of us
unreal.
did.
I think it just worked out for us. Everything. Yes, that stumble on the way. But the loss against New Zealand was tough, because we targeted that game for 2 years. We planned, and it didn't work out. We lost. So there was a bit of doubt, but we came together, regrouped, and then we just started, going on this journey step by step, and eventually reaching that final as
And I suppose it's kind of setbacks, and again we're hearing a little bit of noise here in the background and all of that, but it's part of this beautiful setting that we're sitting at. So if you are watching, if you may be listening, just ignore that. We've got great stories from the Beast. But when you hit with kind of adversity like that, or a loss like that, and in a way, back to 2015 when we were still playing, you lose to Japan, it's like either that totally splits the team apart, and you're goners, or it actually brings the team together. And it seems like this, it's exactly what happened in 2019. It was like, okay, we lost to New Zealand, but now we've got no other choice.
Yeah.
We need to stick together. We need to do what we have to do, and we need to get back on the road.
That's very true.
There's something special about that Bok environment when your back's against the wall.
Yeah, that's true.
Because sometimes when you are playing well and you're winning, and we've been in those teams, you're not really under pressure. You actually have the ability to express yourself and play, and you're playing with the best players in South Africa, and you beat the All Blacks or whatever we did. Beat the Lions, British and Irish Lions. But when you're under pressure in the Bok, that's like that tension can be cut with anything. It's there. You're on edge the whole week. There's no meetings relaxed. Not even the dinner out is relaxed. I don't know what it is about the Boks, but whenever we're in that position, backs against the wall, no one gives us a chance, where we often That's when we produce our best.
Yeah, I think
Everyone's
it's,
got the shake.
Yeah.
Everyone's got the shake.
I think you know, it's a character thing for me. I think our character comes out, you know, when we are, you know, in trouble, when we got our backs against the wall, you know, that's when we bring out the true, you know, Springbok way.
And it's just kind of a South African mentality as well, where we just seem to rise above, you know, all the adversity we face and all the negativity. You know, you look at all the industries, all the sports in the world. There's always a South African looming around there somewhere.
No, it's true.
It's very true. It's kind of, but you spoke earlier about USA. So Beastie, you win the World Cup. You get your medal. Amazing scenes here in South Africa, and then you went to the States for a bit. How was that experience?
Yeah, no, it was fun. I wanted to enjoy the last little bit of my, you know, my rugby playing days. So I think the States kind of resonated to me, and the league was starting to take take a bit of a lift, and it's growing. So this team in DC approached me actually beginning of 2019, way before the World Cup, and they said, you know, we'll be interested in getting you to be our marquee player, and also get you to do marketing, you know, for the MLR in the States. Kind of try to do what Beckham did for the MLS. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay.
So you comparing yourself with David. So you're the
rugby's Beckham.
So I'm just saying.
I'm just saying what they say.
Beast, the Beckham of rugby. Okay.
I'm just saying what they say there, John. They say that to me. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. So so I made their decision, and then I went there, and I was a player coach, and I was based in DuPont Circus, like the center of DC, and it was nice, you know. It was lovely. I got to stay, I think, probably a couple of 100 meters away from Barack Obama. You know, he didn't invite me over though.
Did you meet any famous people while we were over there? Did you do some events with them?
Who was the most famous person you met?
Trump.
Okay.
I met Trump.
Who's that again?
No, I'm joking. I take it back. I didn't meet Trump. People might just start trolling me on that.
He's not allowed on any other platform.
I know. No. I just met some influential business people and governors and senators. So I did a lot of events like that. Went to a lot of embassies, Australian embassy. I did some functions. So it was like really nice, you know. So I was getting to meet all these, you know, successful people, networking. So so I guess it was really nice, but it was short-lived, you know.
You guys got shortcut as well by COVID, hey? It was 3 months and then COVID struck.
Yeah,
and sports stars and stuff? No sports stars either. You're a massive NBA fan. So
yes, I did. I did.
LeBron's not on your speed dial.
Nah, unfortunately not. I tried. I did try knocking, but he was all the way in LA, you know, playing for the Lakers.
He was busy.
Yeah, he was busy.
It's like the first 10 times we phoned you to do that.
What do you mean?
I'm busy.
No, John. You know, I'm always available for you.
Thank you, Beastie.
No, it was fun.
But a great experience, eh?
Yeah, great experience.
And it seems like, you know, the rugby in America is really growing, you know, so I think that's good for the global game, you know, for everyone involved.
No, it's very true. Now the game is growing there, and I think the interest as well, you know, among the Americans, not South African people, it's ever growing. And I think if there's more support for USA Rugby, I think they're going to really become a powerful force.
Yeah, because potentially with all those athletes and all those people, I mean, you must get it right. But, you know, it's just a culture thing, right? You've got to get the culture and understanding of rugby. And once that happens,
then people will buy into it.
People will buy into it.
Beastie, we're kind of getting towards the end of this, but there's a
really, are we ending so soon? I'm enjoying this.
We've got an extremely important part of Use It or Lose It, where we do a thing called Bad Jokes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we can't rename it to Full Victory. That's not even one of the jokes. That was good.
That's better than your joke.
Okay, so how it works, Beastie, is I'm gonna do some jokes, 5 of them. Okay. And it's brought to you by DHL because it's all about the delivery of the joke. Okay.
Ah,
It
okay.
needs to be simply delivered.
That's very creative.
And if you laugh, so you're not allowed to laugh.
Okay, I'm not allowed to laugh.
Yeah. If you laugh, then the other you play against Schalk. Then
He scores, but he doesn't really
yeah,
get it right.
you're winning anyway.
Okay.
Okay. So I hope that it's funny because anyway, when you laugh, it's better. But try not to.
Okay.
Which one will I start with? We did a previous episode. Don't look at me like this.
No.
He's getting the shimmer. He's getting the shimmer.
We did an episode with Farida Priya, and it was my best jokes ever.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if these are the same.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you like other sports? Like which sports do you like, except the NBA? Do you watch tennis?
Yeah, I watched tennis. I
Yeah,
was
tennis
watching.
is good, right? But you know, you never marry a tennis player because love means nothing to them. Like 15 love, 30 love, nothing.
40 love.
Okay, that's the first one. That's the first one.
Got the
We
cameraman.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, bad jokes brought to you by DHL. I dreamt about drowning in an ocean made of. I'm gonna start again. I dreamt about drowning in an ocean made out of orange soda last night. That's why I couldn't sleep. It took me a while to work out. It was just a fantasy.
I like it. Not the smoothest delivery,
No, fantasy.
but like it. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, not quite.
Albert Einstein was a genius and worthy of praise and study. His brother Frank was an absolute monster. Frankenstein. You didn't get that.
I
did
got
you?
it. I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
Sometimes I explain these jokes to the forwards, so don't worry about that.
I got it. This wasn't funny.
Okay. I'm not allowed to say that.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, 2 more. Amal and Juan are identical twins. Their mom only carries one baby photo in her wallet. Because if you've seen Juan, you've seen Amal.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yes.
You
Okay, that's a good one. That's a
great
good
one.
one. That's a good one.
I should just stop it. Okay. So I went to the therapist the other day. The therapist says, what brings you in today? So I reply, I have a terrible fear of tsunamis. The therapist says, how bad is it? So I replied, it comes in waves. Not.
No. I love the previous one, though.
Okay.
Yeah, the previous
Yeah,
one.
the previous one is amazing.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Beast. Beast, do you think you didn't laugh at my jokes because you're hungry? Because you do get a bit hangry.
Maybe.
Hungry and angry together. Now we've got one of our former teammates, which should be fan favorite number 5.
Oh, Mr. Bones.
There's 2 videos, so watch that one.
Okay, the bone collector.
Beast, it's Willem here. Hope you're well. I don't know why John and Schala haven't asked me to be on the show yet, but hopefully by asking you a question I can get on there. Listen, Beast, I just want to know, can you still finish a T-bone 1 kg special in less than 10 minutes? Or is the metabolism a bit slower after rugby? Please let me know. Cheers, man.
Is it the next one with the girl?
Yes. No, you have
Hello, Beast. I'm
Beast.
Martina from
Out of
Slovakia,
Switzerland.
living in Switzerland.
Oh.
I've been traveling to South Africa and became a rugby fan. And I think you are the best player. And I don't think you became the best player because of drinking of green tea smoothies. I'm having a question. What is your favorite food? And how would look your normal food? Ciao.
Ciao.
So the question, see, we've got a following all over the world.
I
So the
see.
question, what's your favorite food and what do you like? Obviously, can you still do the 1 kg challenge?
I think
10 minutes.
my metabolism has slowed down a bit.
Now do it in 5.
So now I'll probably do it in 20 years.
How many times did you do that 10-minute challenge?
I did it every Thursday for almost probably 6 months.
And smashed it every time.
Smashed it every time.
But you closed down the business, right? So it was like if you finish the kg within a certain amount of time, you get it for free, right?
Yeah,
You
that
love
was
a
a
freebie.
challenge. Yeah, I do.
And then you basically put them out of business.
Or put the challenge.
Is that the real story? Or
Put
will
the challenge out of business.
We'll just go with it.
There's a bit of an exaggeration, especially when you ask Bismarck. You always put in a few fake things in there. But yeah, the fact of the matter is that the owners decided to ban us after a while.
Yeah.
Because it was now,
Thursdays was not a good day for them.
Yeah,
Not a good day for them.
a couple of rugby players coming to you.
And what do you like to eat? Like the lady asked, what do you like, BC? Because we're gonna have a nice meal here now. We're gonna stick you for a meal here at 45 on
East
45
Street.
East Street. I need to get it right. People must come visit. Yeah, in Belito.
Yeah,
What do you like? What's your favorite food?
I love.
Buffet.
I love a buffet. I won't lie, but I think if I had to pinpoint one thing is chicken. I love my chicken.
Nando's.
You know, Nando's are
Nando's,
chickens, so chicken is my favorite thing.
Well, let's see what you go for on the menu today. But Beastie, thank you so much. Thanks for joining. It's fantastic seeing you. It's good to see you. You're healthy. You're doing well, and the family's good. And we appreciate the time that you've given us. It's awesome, and we'll have a lekker lunch now.
Beastie,
Thank
from my
you,
side,
John.
thanks for making the time. Obviously, we played together for a long time, and then we turned from teammates to fans. And the World Cup, I mean, was the best send-off you could have asked for. But your longevity in the career speaks for everything. And thanks for coming, spending time with us. And we're still mates, and you answer our phone calls. Some of our mates are a bit tardy on the phone calls or responses. But thank you very much, and it's lovely spending time together.
No, thank you, Scott. Thank you, John. I'm really honored. It's amazing to see you guys again, and hopefully we do this soon again.
Yeah, there we go.
Thanks, Beastie.
Beastie, before we leave you, I'm going to get a jersey out. DHL handed us some jerseys, the original, or the new jerseys that the guys will be playing in the Lions series. What we would like you to do is select your favorite question from a fan.
Which one was your favorite?
And they will be winning the signed jersey,
jersey.
by the Beast and the burger
And the JDV.
and me.
And JDV.
And me.
My favorite question. I think it would be.
You're very decisive.
I think it would be this gentleman right here.
There we go.
Yep.
I can't remember. Oh, that's also about the scrummaging, right?
Yeah.
So there we
it
go.
would be him, yeah.
I can't remember the name. Rights.
Right.
There you go. Rights, you win a new jersey signed by Schalk Burger, the Beast.
It's just sign, right?
Any place.
Don't sign on Brian's spot, eh?
Yes, I remember.
He's not here.
Oh, BH.
Thanks for the questions, guys. Thanks for supporting us. Please subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Do the Facebook thing, all of that good stuff. Awesome interview with Beast. Send in your videos to the WhatsApp number down here or here, wherever it might be, and you might stand a chance to win a jersey next time around. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
tuning
guys.
in.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.